Hello and welcome to SPADS episode 23, joined by the usual crew again. After the groundbreaking pod last week, massive amounts of views, we're back again for
12.
episode 23.
Hey, with 14 this week.
Gentlemen, how are we?
I'm all good, mate. You all good?
Good, boys?
Good, but good, thank you.
Yeah, good. There's a lot to talk about tonight, not a lot to talk about. The main thing we're going to focus on first of all is the relegation battle. 5-6-ish games left depending on who's got what. It's really hotting up down the bottom. It's been the weirdest relegation battle of for a long time, because 12th place was flirting with relegation up until a few games ago. It's been a mad season.
I think even Chelsea can still get relegated if mathematically they can.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's mad, isn't it?
It has been a mad season. It is
How many games have Liverpool got left?
Yeah,
We're safe. We're safe.
Are you over the 40-point barrier, the safety point? Yeah.
Did you think that at the beginning of the season you'd be 32 games in going, we're safe from relegation on the back of a double last season?
7 games to go, taking the relegation net down.
Happy days. Financial fair play is not going to matter now. We're all right.
It's just been a mad season in some, but we kind of got it down to 5 teams left at the bottom who's probably pulled into the relegation. We're looking at Southampton, Leeds, Leicester, Everton and Forest. They're the ones that we probably think are going down. Gentlemen, over the recent form, those 5 there, and before we drill down into what fixtures are left, which ones off the top of your head are in the most trouble? This going to be one. Who do you think is the most in trouble?
Forest.
Leicester.
Southampton.
Okay, so you've all gone differently.
I
think Southampton. Yeah, Southampton. As well. I think Southampton are cooked.
Yeah.
I think they're done. I think they're already roasted. But points-wise, they're not. They're 24 points. Forest are 27. Everton 28. Leicester 28. And Leeds 29.
I think looking at points, you've got to think. I just think the boys at Leicester, your Madisons, your Barnes, they know they're off in the summer, so they're just going to pack up to all.
Yeah, but then you look at the Southampton performance against Arsenal on Friday. You know, they perform really well. You know.
Yeah, but I don't think they do it enough, though, do they?
But
they haven't done this.
But that's what, can he get him now to repeat, because it's a battle now,
Now they know that there's like 5, however many games, 5, 6, whatever it is, they can work that out, and they know that.
Saying that, Southampton have got to play Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest, so they are
6 points.
There's 2 massive 6 points. Yeah, Bournemouth I think are safe. I think personally, I don't think they're in that relegation battle now.
No, we haven't included them in this 5 per se. They're on 29 points, so theoretically they could still easily. Are they 29? 33 points. So they could still easily be pulled into it if a couple of games go their way.
But they all got left though.
In terms of that, it's how many
games have got left?
So they've all got 6 games left. I looked at these ones at the bottom here. All got 6. Some are obviously being played tonight.
Yeah, Leeds Leicester tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, Leeds Leicester are currently on tonight.
Yeah,
so they're the best ones. I mean, we'll look at the running. What I want you to do is go through the next 4 games. I know there's 6 games left, but we'll go through the next 4 games. I wanted between us collectively, between the 3 of you, I want you to work out how many points you think they're going to get over the next few games, and then try and work out what the league might look like from that. So Southampton have got Forest next. What do we think there?
I think
Southampton win, I reckon.
Southampton win. Kev?
I think Forest. I think it'd be a draw.
Draw?
Yeah.
I was going with a draw myself.
Okay, so let's go with draw because it's a collective. So I think it's going to be 1 point there for draw. They've then got Fulham next.
Fulham.
So I think we're going to lose that one. Dave, agree with that?
No.
You don't?
I think they'll beat Fulham.
Right, it's 2-1 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you think.
Overall.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up, Dave.
Brighton.
Are you fucking mad or what?
Fulham aren't playing well. They've now got nothing to play for, Fulham, and I think Fulham and that team, when they've got nothing to play for, they just go.
That could be a swing game. That could be a swing game for sure.
The next game was it against Brighton?
Brighton's the one after
I
that.
think Brighton will beat him because of the FA Cup. I think that will.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brighton.
They'll be fighting the top 4 now.
Yeah,
and then Liverpool after that.
Are they playing us at home or away?
They are home. Southampton at home.
Oh, they'll beat us.
Really?
Yeah,
You're the best Liverpool fan on the
confidence,
planet.
right?
We can't play away from home this season.
Southampton, bottom of the season, away. Oh no, we'll lose that one.
I'm on a game in 50. Yeah, we'll lose that.
Hang on, the top of the table struggled against bottom of the table.
Yeah, you're on top of the table.
Yeah, I know. So, when you go like that, we shouldn't be winning, should we? Maybe a draw.
So what he said. Okay, let me ask.
I think we'll beat them.
Dave's not got a fucking clue.
So we reckon Southampton over the next 4 games, then they're only going to pick up 1 point.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving into Leeds, they've got Leicester.
I think that Leicester will win that.
Draw.
I reckon Leicester will sneak 3 points there.
I forgot everyone said that. You said Leicester, didn't you?
Yeah, I said Leicester.
So we're going to go lost there.
Man United.
Bournemouth,
on me again.
Leeds.
It's Leeds.
So it's hard this to try and predict this, isn't it? It's been interesting to see. Yeah. So obviously Bournemouth are down there. Leeds versus Bournemouth. What do we think?
Bournemouth. I reckon they're picking a few results up now. Leeds.
I think Leeds will beat them.
But again, they've just started scoring goals again, Leeds, haven't they?
Yeah, I think Leeds might get that. I think
3-2
Leeds might just edge that.
So we're going to go a Leeds win on that one.
3-2 Villa win.
Yeah.
Okay, Man City. Assuming Man City are going to rip them to pieces, and then Newcastle. We're assuming Newcastle's going to win that
on it after.
Okay, so we think over the next 4 games that
3 points.
Leeds are going to pick up 3 points. Leicester. So obviously got Leeds. Well, if we said that they're going to,
I think Leeds will win that game.
You think Leeds will win, so you think Leicester will lose that?
No.
I can't remember. We went
with Leicester.
You have to remember, it's written in front of you.
I know, but I can't read me writing. We went Leicester. Leeds were going to win that one, didn't we?
No, Leicester were going to win that one.
Leicester were going to win that
So
one.
3 points.
Everton. So Leicester versus Everton. It's Everton.
At Leicester.
It's got to be
I think that'd be a draw.
Biggest 6-pointer out of the lot.
I think it'd be a draw.
Draw.
A draw. Okay, and then they got Fulham.
I think they'll beat.
There's
Fulham.
a lot of 6. There's a lot of sort of 6 pointers, tough games. Then
I've highlighted a lot of the 6 pointers here against each other.
Yeah. So what do we reckon? Fulham with the
Win.
Fulham against Leicester.
Leicester was.
I think Leicester will beat Fulham. I really do.
And you reckon?
Fulham will beat Leicester.
You think Fulham will beat Leicester? You think Leicester will beat Fulham? So on you, Kev.
Don't go for a draw. Don't go for a draw. Then it's on you, Kev.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll go Leicester.
You're going to go Leicester.
Yeah.
So we're going to go. They're going to go win, and then they got Liverpool at home. So Liverpool away.
Liverpool away. We struggle against Leicester all the time. A draw.
So you think a draw?
Yeah, I might say a draw.
Draw.
Doesn't fucking matter, does it?
Okay, so you think?
Opinion don't matter, Mr. Goble.
So you think Leicester over the next 4 games is going to pick up 8 points? So that effectively.
I think Leicester attacking players like Maddison, Barnes playing. Has he been playing recently? Holly Barnes.
I think a pair of them have just given up. I think.
So I just think they've got that little bit more.
So that's a lot. That's a lot of points over the next. 4 games to pick up 8 points if they're down in relegation. Okay, Everton got Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah, it's got to be the way they played against Spurs. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then they got Leicester. So if we said they were going to draw against Leicester, so we've got to say the trust there. They got Brighton away.
I think they might beat Brighton. I really do.
So you think Everton are going to beat Brighton?
No chance.
No, I think Brighton.
Way too much.
Okay, and then Man City, we're assuming they're going to lose.
Yeah.
So that's 1 point for Everton. So moving to the last one, Forest versus Brighton at home.
Brighton. Going against Brighton, I just think they're going to win.
Brighton.
Okay. Forest versus Brentford.
Draw.
Brentford.
Southampton. So now we went with. What do we say though? So we were going to draw against Southampton, so we're going to have to go draw. And then the Chelsea in the 4th game.
3 points, that isn't it? 3 points.
Yeah,
Forest.
they'll beat Chelsea.
That was Forest, wasn't it? Forest win.
You think Forest win?
Yeah, just.
Okay, so interesting. So they're predicting the 4 games over the next thing. We think Southampton are going to come out with 1 point over the next 4 games. We think Leeds are going to come out with 3 points over the next 4 games. Leicester to come away with 8. Everton to come away with 1. And Forest to come away with 3. Kev, you said you've highlighted some 6-pointers over the next thing. Just to give us those ones as 6-pointers while I do some maths.
So the 6-pointers, I mean, you've got Bournemouth have got Southampton and Leeds. And Everton on the end of it. I mean, Bournemouth.
We're not putting Bournemouth in the.
No.
We're not
relegation
sorry,
battle,
who are we
aren't we?
putting in there? We're putting from Leicester.
It still could. You still got
It
close
could,
to
yeah.
6-pointers, haven't you? In terms of that.
I mean, you've got a lot.
They get one more.
There's a lot of 6-pointers there. There's a lot of games. I mean, Leeds have got Leicester, Bournemouth, and West Ham. Leicester have got Leeds, Everton,
West Ham are well
West
safe
Ham
now,
on the last day. Everton have got Leicester, Wolves, and Bournemouth. Nottingham Forest are quite lucky. They've got Southampton, so a 6-point. So they're lucky. They've got to play obviously teams above them. Southampton, who have they got? They've got Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. So yeah,
Well, so if your predictions are correct, over the next 4 games, so in 4 games' time with 2 games to go, the bottom 3 should be Southampton at the bottom with 25 points. We should then have Everton.
Yes.
On 29 points. Southampton 25 points, Everton will be 29 points, and then we're saying Forest will be bottom 3. So we reckon the bottom 3 in 4 games' time will be Forest, Everton, Southampton.
Yeah.
Now that'll be interesting to see whether that comes to
I
fruition.
think that's when I
think
looked
that's
at
the
that
three
earlier.
going down.
Do you know what? I had looked and I thought, you know what? I don't think it's going to change.
No.
Not like any of them 3 will come out of that.
So that is the bottom 3. Everton and Nottingham Forest are going to switch round on today.
I think the fact that none of them have got game in hands as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because
they've all played the same. So it is going to make it interesting. I think. Yeah.
It's wicked.
Because this season,
Leicester, Everton, Forest, and it's their 3. Southampton are done, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, it's whether Leeds and Leicester can do enough.
I
to
just
get
think
away
Leicester have got, attacking wise, they've got a bit more than the bottom 3.
Yeah,
but then Everton have now got Calvert-Lewin coming back, haven't they? He's,
a bit too late though, isn't it? I think
He's so overrated.
Yeah,
he's got a great dress sense.
Has he?
Very random.
Is he? I don't know what his dress.
Atrocious.
You have a look at it, and
He likes to wear dresses and sort of things like that.
yeah,
Like Lewis Hamilton style.
yeah,
Yeah.
similar to that.
A bit out there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it will be interesting. It will hot up. I think you're probably right. I think they're probably the 3 that goes down. Do we think they're going to be there at the end of the season? Those 3.
Yeah,
They'll be battling. I think the league this season has been so weird.
Yeah.
That still, I think any of them lot still can go down. I know. There's a few teams who've got big teams to play, like City, Liverpool in there. Potentially, they are games where you think the bigger club's going to win.
Yeah.
But these small clubs will just come out.
At the end of the season, you get that, don't you?
Yeah.
This relegation type
And
fight.
if you've got, especially if you've got City, like they've obviously got the Champions League to think about.
Yeah.
Not that they haven't got the squad to, but Pep don't rotate that much, does he?
Yeah. He used to. He used to rotate all the.
But he don't as much
roulette.
now. But like you say, it is such a strange season. You just
What do we think about Sean Dyche since he's been at Everton? I thought it was a good appointment. They've done better than Frank. Obviously, Frank's gone into Chelsea and set Chelsea alight, literally
burning the place down. Yeah,
burning the place down. But what do we think of how he's done?
He's kind of kept under the radar, really. Not a lot has been said about him.
Couple of wins, couple of draws.
Yeah,
couple of
just standard Sean Dyche.
I don't think he's done bad. I didn't expect him to go and save them, to be fair, because I think the damage has been done there by the previous
Frank.
managers. Not just Frank. I don't really think Frank did a lot wrong there. I think it's been.
He didn't win any games.
No, but let's be honest.
He's done a lot wrong, but he didn't win any
Let's be
games.
honest,
But did he put in good performances?
No.
That's what it's all about.
But we look
Yeah.
if we look at the squads, you look at the Leicester squad and the Everton squad, and then look at the managers.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'd say Leicester's squad stronger, maybe.
Yeah.
But then you've got to look at the managers.
Dean Smith.
Is Dean Smith a better manager than Dyche?
Well, he's a temporary manager.
Well, we think he's going to take 6-8 points over the next.
I think we're looking at it as
12
as the teams. We forget who's in charge and stuff. I think we just look at historicals, and that's the way our brains work.
Yeah, I think Everton's squad really are too good to go down. I'm not saying they got a great squad.
I think the problem with Everton, they've over the last 5 years, 6 years, they spent so much money on players that none of them have done it. Not one of them.
You couldn't fucking name none of them, either, could you?
But they're all getting decent money. They've paid a lot of money for them, and I think personally, Sean Dyche was never just
Deli Alley back, don't they?
It was going to be. I think going to if they get relegated, like we think they will, going into the Championship, let him go there, clear all them high earners, and let him, because then you'll have him for. You could be there for 5-6 years.
Yeah, I think Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
You keep him. You don't sack him if they go down.
No, not at all.
You keep him because he's that manager who will get you back out of that Championship.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I still think they've got a chance to escape, and obviously not based on the thing. So, talking to Dele Alli there, what happened to Dele Alli? I mean,
shame.
he was a man with so much talent. What do we think has gone wrong with Dele Alli?
Jose Mourinho.
He bought out his clothing label, didn't he? And then he got told off by whoever he was playing for at the time for wasting too much time spending on that and not on his football.
Bit like Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, then he got
Same
binned
thing,
off
wasn't
from
it?
everywhere, and then got caught doing fucking balloons the other day, didn't he?
Yeah,
all around the
But he was a huge talented player. Obviously, Ferguson was one of the ones saying, Dave Moyes, you've got to go and sign him.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know we're going back a few seasons now. He was on a loan at MK Dons. Absolutely set the world alight there. This is obviously when he was a youngster.
The
and broke onto the scene.
it was 18 World Cup, Euros or whatever it was. It was like him and
Kane. Him and Jesse Lingard at the World Cup for England.
Yeah.
Those two. I mean,
pair of them
Kane.
fell off a cliff.
Yeah, Kane and Dele Alli. That partnership they had, they were just deadly. I mean, he was a bit of a shitbag, like, which I kind of like that because you don't see players like that, a bit of a temper. But you know what? It's such a. I mean,
but what do we think's gone wrong? What do we think?
I think management.
Yeah.
He hasn't had the right people looking after him. Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Well, a lot
he's
of
one of
it's
these
not been
players,
the
I
way he
think,
deals with shit.
who needs an arm around his shoulder, talk to.
Do you not think he's had one of those of all the managers? Because where is he now? He's like Galatasaray.
No,
He was at Besiktas and then he got binned off. And he's back.
So he's back.
He's back on Everton
Because he's injured, isn't he? Injured for the rest of the season.
I think Mourinho. I think because he was managing at Spurs.
Yeah, but then saying that, do you not think even towards the end of Pochettino's reign, he was struggling because he kept playing him and then he dropped him, and it just even Pochettino.
He's not built for it. I think he's not
everyone's-
built for the falling down from being something bigger than.
I mean, that's
Do you not think maybe it was too quick? It was too well, but then saying it wasn't too quick because he was at MK Dons doing well. Obviously, Spurs bought him, loaned him back for the rest of the season, and come into the team. But it weren't like he was just chucked in. Pochettino put him in and was like, do you know what, this kid's good.
Yeah.
He can't go out on loan again. He needs to be playing, and was brought into the team. And then it was like, well, I can't drop him. And he was good. I mean, it weren't like he was just
he was class.
he was class.
But I can't think of a bigger fall from grace in recent times than Dele Alli.
To not be, you think he was going to be our England number one starter for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
You just thought that, and you did probably expect him to not stay at Spurs forever. You probably thought, do you know what? I mean, they was linking him with Real Madrid and PSG and everyone, didn't they? I mean, and you can see why at the time.
Yeah, totally.
You know.
Is there a lesson to be learnt from the likes of Jude Bellingham, Dele Alli? Is it possible?
Too early for Jude to say that, though.
But do we?
But then I think he's got a strong. But then I don't know.
But we would maybe have said that about Dele Alli at the time, isn't it? I mean, is this the case and point that Jude Bellingham should now look at that thinking, what mistakes did he make and not make the same things? Because Jude Bellingham is probably the next one that's touted as the next big star, isn't he?
Yeah. He's like going to be our superstar, our number one.
He'll be a captain, won't he?
Yeah,
he'll be our captain.
Well, that's what everyone's hoping for him.
He'll be our England captain.
Everyone said that about Declan Rice, though.
Yeah, I still think Declan Rice is getting there in terms
I
of
think
that.
Declan Rice will be our next England captain.
How old is he?
Yeah.
23, 24.
Cool. Yeah.
No, the only one that has sort of faded away a bit recently as well as in that same group is Mason Mount.
Yeah.
That's game time now. Hasn't played.
But why hasn't he
under
had the
shit
game
management?
time?
He's been under shit management.
He's faded away. What do we think's happened there? Has he not been playing well? Or
I think it's management again. You know, the squad of Chelsea have got, his position is just taken over by 10 players, you know, and they've spent the money, so they've got to play them rather than play what's within. But obviously, Todd Bowley apparently is talking to him, wants him to stay.
Desperate to stay.
Yeah, but
he's a good player.
Yeah.
I like Mount.
We just haven't seen much of him, have you?
I think he needs a move.
Yeah, potentially.
I think he should come out of Chelsea and come to Liverpool.
Yeah,
it'd be a perfect player. I mean, I think he's a great player, and I think for Liverpool, I mean, I don't want him to go there.
He needs some legs in the midfield.
Yeah, he is a good player, and I think you could have him for years. You know,
because again, he's 24, 25. Is he something?
Young, isn't he? Yeah,
don't get injured a lot, really, does it? I know he's a bit out of form and that, but he doesn't. You know,
any player's not playing is going to be out of form. You know, it's going to take him.
Well, I think before he come out of the team, he was coming in and out, and I think he's one of these players. Some players can come in out of the team and go and make a performance. But I think he needs to be consistently playing. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I think
he needs to be told he's doing well as well. Doesn't he? He's one of them. He needs
pat on the back.
Yeah, another arm around the shoulder jobby.
Talk about arm around the shoulder. One person that needs him, obviously, Spurs need someone to put arm around the shoulder. Obviously, we've had Conte was sacked back in 27th of March. Obviously, they brought in. I always forget his first name.
Scalini.
Cristiano Stellini or whatever his name is. Scalini, whatever. He was shit anyway. He lasted 4 games, which he drew 1-1 and lost 2. Do we think the sacking was? I mean, I've never heard of an interim manager sacked. I think that's a new one. Remember an interim manager getting sacked?
I don't know.
No.
So
I mean,
so he's beating Frank.
normally,
Did Ralph
yeah.
get sacked, or was that just ended
No,
his
no,
tenure?
That just
the end
came
of
to
his-
they just think, but it's but I mean, he lasted 4 games. You bring an interim for a short period of time. I've just never heard of an interim manager getting
Poor,
sacked.
isn't it?
4 games, so he can't.
Yeah, but do you know the other thing that I kind of is a bit weird? Well, it's not weird because they love
Was he
Ryan
one of
Mason.
Conte's boys?
Yeah, it was his number 2.
Yeah, which is number 2.
And he didn't change anything.
Well, you wouldn't, would you?
No.
But that's the thing. You
So
needed to
bringing him in
change
was a
stuff.
fucking mistake anyway.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they put Scalini in charge, and Ryan Mason is his like assistant, and then they've got rid of him, and now Ryan Mason's going to do it. And it's like, well, what happens if it? I mean, they ain't going to change that now.
But because Ryan Mason's been interim before.
Spurs and
Yeah,
Spurs.
yeah.
Yes,
Spurs.
and
Yeah, mate.
Isn't
he won something like 3 out of 7 games.
So it's not great, but
No, yeah,
it's
exactly.
better
That's
than
when they
what's
sacked
there.
he? He's
Mourinho.
a Spurs boy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least the players will react back to that.
But what the hell is going on at Spurs? I mean, do we think sacking him was the right thing?
What?
Still in
Yeah,
You've
well,
got to ask yourself
yeah.
the question. You've got Conte and he's his second-hand man. You've got rid of Conte. And you're expecting this geezer to
Yeah.
do something different.
It's not going to
So
happen.
the mistake was made then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to this what we were talking about last week. There's absolutely nobody out there.
Yeah.
No.
But you've got to do due diligence with your Nagelsmann and your Poch. I can't see Poch going back.
No,
Poch is going to Chelsea,
Chelsea's
supposedly.
done, yeah.
Nagelsmann's apparently interested in the Spurs job now.
I
which is
think
turning-
Nagelsmann will end up at Chelsea.
Yeah.
You
No,
think
he's
Chelsea?
not. No, he's
I
already.
think he's ruled
he's
himself
himself
out now, isn't
Is
he?
he?
He's ruled.
Or out.
Yeah, no, they've ruled him out because he wanted too much.
Have the media ruled him out?
No, he's been ruled out, and Poch is basically. I think it's more or less agreed.
I think
isn't it,
Poch
today?
is more or less done.
Yeah.
And Nagelsmann's now talking about obviously going to Spurs.
Yeah.
I don't think
But-
Poch has got a backbone for Spurs. Chelsea. There's way too.
Yeah, but
he's
I
been
would
to big
say-
clubs.
See,
hasn't
See,
he, in
I
terms
was
of-
thinking about
He
this,
didn't do very
right?
well at PSG. Look
You
at
know
the
that-
idiots in there.
The first managers that were linked with the Chelsea job, right, was Nagelsmann and Luis Enrique, right?
See what?
And-
Enrique doesn't get managed
No,
anyway.
the thing is-
mentioned anyway, does he?
But Luis Enrique, right, did this report. What he said about this, he did this report on all the players, what he could do with Chelsea and all this, and it was like really thorough. And apparently Nagelsmann was a bit too much like, well, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. And it seems to me like, because I was thinking, why has Poch gone suddenly up? And then when you look at it, you think, well, Poch was at Chelsea and at Spurs. And yes, he might have got a few players he wanted, but generally it was like Daniel Levy would get the bargains at the last minute. It was like, yeah, there you go, you can have him. To me, seems like Poch is probably the best manager for what Todd Bowley wants, because he's going to go, I'm still buying these players. And Poch is like, yeah, that's fine, I'll deal with it. And I think that might come down to where
more
you
of
won't
a
Has he got the
yes
experience
man
to
rather
deal
than
with
Yes.
I want this.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. That's,
yeah.
And then when you look at, I think, actually, do you know what? That's probably why Nagelsmann, I think, probably is getting a little bit ahead of himself, because he is still, he's like 35 or something, isn't he? He's still quite young.
But as Poch hasn't had the experience to deal with Chelsea players and the amount.
Well,
of
he's been
that.
at PSG, isn't he?
He's
And
had big names.
Yeah.
he's had big names with him before. It's an interesting
But
point you
it's
say.
a
It's more-
completely different league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Farmers
yeah,
League.
Yeah, it's and also the chairman makes a
It's
big
all well and good
difference.
going Messi,
that?
Mbappe, going
Neymar.
some goals.
Yeah.
Neymar, it's
Yeah.
easy, isn't it?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah.
probably.
And he didn't win it one season either, did he?
First season,
Yeah.
he didn't know.
Yeah.
So
So do we think he's a good fit for Chelsea? Do we think if he Poch goes there?
No,
No.
not for me.
I don't think
No,
they'll win
no.
anything.
I think he'll do all right at Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know, I
Were
think,
you hoping that so then it helps Liverpool?
why would it help Liverpool?
Well, because then you'll get above them if they don't do well, because he's in charge.
We're still above them, so we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think Poch will do okay there.
I think
if
he
he
will,
ends
yeah.
up going
I
there.
don't think he'll be challenging for the title or anything.
No, I think the Premier League next year is going to be really competitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Liverpool will find their form again. I think Chelsea will do
No,
better next
they'll
season.
be tired next.
I think.
No,
I think.
we're fine. We've not played many games this season.
I think United. I don't necessarily think they'll be up there, but I think they'll be more in the question than what they have been.
Do you
Arsenal are gonna
do you
be-
boys think Harry Kane will be leaving Tottenham?
Yes.
I
I
think
do.
I think they will be going.
It all depends on how much Levy asked for him. In the last year of his contract, Levy still wants 100.
What's the maximum you can? No, you got to ask 80 million maximum,
But,
really.
But
you do.
but
you
Levy
can ask what
doesn't
you want.
do that, does
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
You can ask what you want, and if you don't, if he doesn't get
I
it,
personally think once teams inquire, I think that's where Kane pushes.
Yeah.
I
It
think
depends on
Apparently
whether
United
anyone.
have offered him 300 grand a week.
Yeah.
It all comes down to Levy. It all
Yeah.
depends on how much he wants.
Yeah.
If he's still going to say,
But then
we
do you
want
think he would be that
100%,
stupid and
Yeah.
risk losing him on a free?
yeah,
Do you think he would?
yeah. Could-
Wow.
because he'll be a year older.
yeah.
Levy is
Probably,
one of the
probably it won't be. A year older, not as quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
have him at his prime. You know, if he doesn't want to.
I'll take him at United.
I would, as long as you can't pay any more than. I mean, even 80 million's low.
Yeah, that's a lot, but I
for
still
someone
think,
you're probably going to get two.
Maybe.
We said he was 31.
Yeah.
no, he's 30, isn't he?
I think he's 31 this year,
Or is he?
or he might be 30 this year.
Yeah, I think he's 30.
I think he's. It's so you've only
I'll have a
got.
quick Google.
Yeah,
30.
he might be 30
I
this
think he's
year.
30
So it's coming up to
recently,
the thing.
isn't he?
It's very close to 30 or 31. So you're only going to get a couple of seasons out of him.
Yeah, he's 29, so he'll be 30 this year.
30 this year, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're only going to get a couple of
Get
seasons.
three seasons max.
Max.
With that, yeah.
Max.
But if you get the title in those 3 years,
Yeah, but he's injury prone. So I don't know. Do I think he leaves? Yeah, I think he'll
I think
possibly
he does
leave.
now.
If Levy, if he,
Leeds are beating Leicester at the moment.
is that our prediction?
There you go.
Leeds. We said Leicester was going to win.
Yeah, I thought Leeds was going to win, but no one listened to me.
There you go. So
Yeah, but it ain't
we're wrong
finished
already.
yet.
Are we?
It's not finished yet,
I
but
was going to say, fucking hell.
I'll be right. Don't worry.
So
I'm
do we-
never wrong.
Do we think bringing another interim manager for Spurs, just quickly wrapping up, was the right thing to do? Did he have to go after the 6-1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The performance had to, yeah.
Yeah, just to keep the noise down.
Yeah.
That's why he's done it.
Fair enough. Manchester United booked another final, obviously
Just.
just a penalty shootout win over Brighton. It was actually a really good 0-0 game.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I watched it.
It was a
Was
really
it?
good
I
game.
didn't watch it. Was it a proper cup game?
It was I wouldn't say it was like end-to-end proper cup game, but it was just
No, but
it was
a
just
proper cup
entertaining.
games. Yeah,
Yeah, it was just
entertainment,
entertaining.
everyone going
Like,
for
it
It was a nice,
was-
good midfield battle. There was a lot of skill. It was really nice.
It was a good,
the commentary.
exciting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just the commentary on the old Sky Sports app. It sounded like Brighton were all over us. I was like, I'm not watching that shit.
The first half, I think, Man United were the better side.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes of the second half, it was all Brighton.
Yeah.
De Gea was quite
Like
good
it was
though, wasn't
one
he?
way. Yeah, he
I
was.
think he had to be after.
Yeah.
He didn't try and
Oh,
pass
him and
much out. He
Maguire.
just booted everything.
Didn't play him short, and there was no Maguire, so
But interestingly, just about that, what do you think of United's defence at the moment in terms of this season? Just quickly.
At the minute, we're fucked because Martinez is out.
You know what I think? You can play Lindelof with other players and he looks fine. Because I like Lindelof. I think he's a really good player. As soon as you put Maguire, unfortunately, I feel like I'm always digging out Maguire. But I don't think Maguire gives any confidence to his teammates like De Gea. Like,
Fucking the geezer looks scared of himself.
yeah,
let alone
that's
fucking
what
everybody
you know.
else.
It comes back to when I said about that. Ten Hag said that he's got to be the winner against a striker. Unfortunately, even playing Shaw, who's a short ass,
I think it does. I think Shaw looks
he
all right.
does pretty good. But then if you put him with Maguire, you put Varane with Maguire, Martinez with Maguire, Maguire just seems to disrupt it so much.
Because he tries that captain's head, doesn't he? And
he ain't got it.
tries to tell people what to
I don't
do,
think
but
he's
they're
got
like, fuck off.
Harry
Yeah.
Maguire in the centre of a three is pucker.
Yeah.
yeah.
In the back four, he's nowhere
he's
near.
not.
He's nowhere near the same. But what's your view of Manchester United? Because the interesting fact is, the team that's got the most clean sheets this season is United.
Yeah.
Now that is a surprising fact if you think about
but who have them clean sheets been against
the other teams in the Premier League.
in the bottom half?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That negates
Yeah,
it
I
out.
know.
They've got
Because-
the most clean sheets, then probably not just the bottom, though.
Well, it doesn't matter because it negates
Well,
out because every other team has
10.
played the people in the bottom half.
Yeah,
as well.
I know, but
So it's
but
sort of a
the
net-net.
thing is, you can keep clean sheets against the teams who aren't attacking you, but the teams who are coming at you, you can't defend.
Sure.
We've got to, I think Ten Hag said it the other day, we've got to stop it where once a team, we go behind and stuff, where we've lost that bit, before we used to go behind, but that's all right, we'll be fine. We've lost that bit and then suddenly we just...
They've been 50-50 with that this season now. I think we've gone
that-
behind a couple and then just...
But recently we just fall apart. And he said, we've got to change that. Like he said, we can't keep doing this. He said, we just fall apart. And then that's it. We can't pick them up.
That's management, isn't it?
Yeah.
The risk is for, obviously, we've got Man City in the FA Cup final. The risk is it could end... It has the potential to be another drubbing. I have a feeling it could end up...
I don't think it matters, though. I think we've
Well, hopefully
achieved enough this season for it not to...
No, absolutely. It's been a great season for United in terms of that, but I still think it's...
Varane should be back for the final, shouldn't he?
I don't know.
But you might have had the most clean sheets, but you've still you've had 14 clean sheets, conceded 37 goals.
37 of them against you knob.
We have
Really? Oh,
Yeah, we have
it's funny. It's
conceded a lot of
37,
goals.
isn't it?
But I'm saying it's a surprising stat, isn't it, in terms of the most clean sheets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very surprising.
In terms of United have done that. And
Yeah, but
that-
didn't Newcastle have one of the best defense? Newcastle got one of the best defensive. records in the league.
Yeah, they've got 13 clean sheets, so they're not too
Yeah.
far in what they've conceded 24 goals.
Yeah,
So that's pretty good, really.
yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
30
Maybe
games.
we'll get a trophy for that.
No, it's only if you win 7-0.
7-0 you get a trophy.
I've not mentioned that today. You brought it up.
What's the
So I think-
what's the view? United versus City. Obviously, City's going to be the big favourites going into.
Yeah, they
that.
are.
Yeah, I think City.
How close is it to the Champions League games?
It's after, isn't it? It's after the season.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, FA
June.
Cup's the last
A
game.
lot's
Every-
going to
every-
depend on that.
it's-
isn't it?
Is it not June the 6th or
Champions
something like that?
I don't know.
if he's still in the Champions League,
Yeah.
then he'll rotate, I think.
Oh,
The
hang on.
the Champions League finals the 16th of May.
And
When's the FA Cup final?
When's the FA Cup final?
June.
Oh, right, so it's miles away.
So is it after? all the
Yeah,
Premier
FA
League
Cup's the
games?
last game.
It's after the Premier League, isn't it?
FA Cup is the last game of the season.
So if you're watching this podcast, obviously
3rd of June.
groundbreaking.
Technology.
Yeah.
It's technology, you see.
So when's the last Premier League game?
That's be after, that'll be 5, what have we got, 6 weeks? time?
It'll be,
Anyway.
you know.
Yeah.
So a lot depends in terms of that. Talking about, obviously, the semi-finals were played at Wembley. They have been played at Wembley since 2008.
Don't like it.
Yeah, so let's talk about that in terms of, obviously, it used to be at big neutral grounds. It only used to be
I still like
certain-
that.
Yeah, I suppose it did leave out some. But what's our opinion in that in terms of the semi-finals?
28th of May is the last Premier League game.
See,
Okay, so
so for a Man United fan, I suppose I'm a bit like, it should just be at, the final should be at Wembley. But then I understand it.
You mean, or the final?
No, just the final
It's
should
good
be
for
at
teams
Wembley.
like Brighton.
But then
And
the other,
Wembley.
but then if you look at it from say Sheffield United get to a quarter final and to a semi, that to them is quite a big thing.
Yeah,
and
it's
they
a
get
proper
the
day out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I understand it from that aspect. But then I used to always like it when it was at like Villa and Old Trafford. If it weren't Man United, it'd be at Old Trafford. I used to like that, but then I understand it from the teams ain't in there all the
They
time.
wouldn't go to Old Trafford now because it needs to be refurbed, don't it?
Yeah, it
It
would
needs to be
be.
referred.
Yeah.
They'd probably go there in terms of attendance, but then also there's the counter argument to that if you only went to big teams like Liverpool, you're only pumping more money back into the bigger
Yeah,
club, which
but-
makes that gap bigger.
But I
Yeah.
think like the FA Cup games, the gates and everything's shared between the two clubs.
Yeah.
So Liverpool won't actually.
Well, and it always
No, but
nearer the two.
They'll get a
always-
percentage
I
of
guess
the
there
bar
must-
and the
there must be
food.
some
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
payoff in terms of that.
Wasn't it
I'm
always
assuming-
like?
But it's,
like a
anything's
mutual-
extra anyway, because it's not like the stadium's been used to
Yeah,
so.
because it was always a mutual venue between the two teams.
Yeah, so it's interesting. But
Because you look at the City Sheffield United game, it was empty seats galore.
Yeah.
You know, it was an FA
But
Cup semi final.
I think they should look at geography as well. You got
Yeah,
Sheffield United,
Yeah,
and Man City
yeah.
travelling down to London.
Yeah.
Like,
so do we think that's a better
Liverpool
system? Do
or
we think it
United
should
or
be
whatever.
more of a neutral ground?
yeah, I think so.
There should be a neutral
So
ground
just-
close,
yeah.
somewhere either in the middle or
Even
close
if
to
that
the
means that pumps more money into a bigger club rather than...
Yeah,
But,
then
but
you
it's
might
not. It's
fit-
not fucking loads, is
But
it?
then you might get more fans from those teams going to it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might.
Yeah,
fit out
if you've
the
got
same-
people saving 50 quid on travel,
Yeah, yeah.
well, they're going to go, oh, banging.
Yeah, I suppose it was empty because City got no fans.
No, then.
It was probably more Sheffield United fans than there were City.
And it's more of a day out, I think. For,
Yeah.
for
Sheffield United.
Sheffield
Yeah.
United.
City fans are like, fuck's sake, again.
Yeah, yeah.
Not another one.
all 100 of them.
So are we saying that you would rather it be neutral?
Yeah, I'd rather it be.
You'd be neutral, rather it be
Yeah.
neutral.
Yeah.
in Wembley. It'd be interesting
I
to
think
see why they
finals was a big step for
why they
them.
made the change to it.
Wasn't that just to bring more money into Wembley?
I think so.
I would
was
imagine
one
so.
of
Yeah,
them.
to repay
Pay
it back.
some of the debt. It's easy. There is the counter argument that, like you say, the smaller teams if
Yeah.
they get a bit of a run, it's a day out for them.
Yeah,
etc.,
which is nice for them, isn't it? Yeah,
Which is nice for them
fans.
in terms of doing that.
Fuck's sake.
They-
Dave.
No, you're going to make that a thing. You can't do that every week. You're going to be
Gonna
pissing
try.
off here. So, Kev, you mentioned about there's some possible VAR changes coming up. VAR is probably discussed every week.
Fucking
It's some
bin
shape
it off.
sort of thing.
And it
Oh.
just.
Yeah, I'd get rid of it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it used to be a thing, but we're never going to get rid of it now. They're too invested, etc., etc. So I understand it. You're the man with the lowdown on this. What's the proposed changes?
So Howard Webb, obviously the main man now in charge,
Mm-hmm.
he was discussing that he in the coming weeks he wants to sort of when there's a VAR decision going on.
Easy for you. Is
Good
that?
mix.
He wants to basically when you're in the, well, I thought it was just in the stadium, but apparently even if you're watching on TV, you're going to hear the microphone, of why they're discussing it. And now, yes, you might not agree with the decision, but if you hear it from someone's opinion, you might not agree, but go, yeah, right, fair enough, that's what you saw. And I think it should have happened ages ago.
Do we think it solves anything?
But I think we all know why they've made the decision.
The commentators tend
But
to
it still doesn't change the fact that the fucking decision is wrong.
Yeah, but then I think, do you not think that make them a bit more conscious, though?
No.
But I think
if there's not many
hearing
changes
someone's
now.
opinion why they've done it makes you clear, because obviously they know the rules better than what we do.
It's not gonna stop people fucking
we
ranting.
think, oh well, that's handball, but when you go to the rules, it's not handball.
We know
And-
that all the VAR decisions that we disagree with are because the letter of the law states that's the way it should be.
but
the fucking law needs to change before we fucking hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
But the law's there, so we'll understand it better, and they'll be able to tell you.
No, we understand it.
Well, we
It's
don't, because
wrong.
we don't.
we disagree with it.
We don't
It's not wrong.
It is wrong.
It's not always wrong. You know.
No.
So what law's wrong?
It's not wrong.
What law's wrong?
The handball rule should
Yeah.
be changed
Why? What's wrong with it?
because it's fucking. They're saying
What's wrong with it?
I agree with Lee. I don't think it solves anything. I don't think so, because the commentators tell you what the referees are saying. They're saying they're looking at that because they think it's a possible handball, things like that. So you kind of know.
I'm in an
from
unnatural
and
position.
always
You
they
can't
go.
jump
They
without your arm being
always
around.
go to then a referee in the studio and say, "What's that?" He goes, "Oh, okay, well, because of that."
Yeah, but when you hear it from the referee,
we still go, "That's bollocks."
yeah, but when I hear it from the referee, I think actually, well, he's explained it, and it makes sense because of the law.
Yeah, but the laws need to be. That's what I'm saying. It's right because
Hmm.
the way the laws are written, but the laws need to be written differently. So that's why. That's where the argument always comes
So
in.
the handball
laws,
rule, talk about that. So you
Yeah.
know the one where if it hits that hand at any point and goes in,
Yep.
do you think that's correct?
Yes.
Even though if it's in a natural position.
Yep. I think it's correct.
It is
That's
correct,
handball.
but do you agree with it?
Yeah, I agree with it. If it hits your hand and it's gone in, you've gained.
Even if you can't do absolutely fucking
So
nothing.
do you think
because
actually
you've gained an advantage for it to go in.
But that only counts in. What about if it happens anywhere else? If it's in an unnatural position, they don't give it as a handball. If it's so, then
So no, if it's a goal scorer,
Yeah.
and it comes off your hand, even if it's down there,
Mm-hmm.
all right, yeah, I totally agree with that because you've made your body bigger. Okay, it's hit your hand and it's gone in.
So if you're jumping
Yep,
for a corner and it hits your hand,
yep.
they
it's-
get a penalty.
I don't think
They're saying your hands
hearing-
are not-
But that's
Unnatural
two
position.
different. That's two different things
Yeah,
we were just
yeah.
talking about. That it all depends. You know, if you're jumping and your hands out here, that's unnatural. You know,
Yeah, but
you're straight.
But if it's still,
I don't think it solves anything. I don't think hearing the referee's concern. I don't think it.
I think it will help.
I don't think it will help the slightest
I
bit
think-
because
Do you
the
not think
commentators already tell you what they're talking about, and we still go, "That's bollocks."
But the commentators still don't know the full rules.
But
No,
they're
they
hearing
don't.
the referees, aren't they? The commentators are
No,
hearing.
they're not.
No, they don't.
No one's hearing.
No.
it.
So they must do because they always know what they're looking at.
No, that's
No.
what that's their opinion. What they're looking at.
they can see everything we can see.
Yeah, they don't hear anything.
Sometimes they go, well, the rule was this, and then obviously the handball rule is a bit complicated. Let's be honest, they have complicated it.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
been ridiculous, and even some of the managers are like, well, we don't actually know what the rule is because FIFA keep changing it. But the interesting thing about the whole Howard Webb saying we want to pull the curtains back and give you a bit more, he didn't say it, but basically the reporters are saying that FIFA are trying to push back. They're like, no, you don't need to do this. It's like you can just see from a top, they don't want you to. It's like, but you've got this big issue with it,
Big issue.
you know.
I don't think it solves anything.
You look at when
Most of the times, the VII decisions, whether you find out at that point or afterwards, you still don't. So let's say you don't find out until after the game what they look at. You still don't agree. We still don't agree with.
If
a
the
lot of
decision is
VAR
wrong,
decisions.
it's still wrong. No
Exactly.
matter what.
Do you know what?
Whether
I
they
get-
fucking told you
Yeah,
how they've made
exactly
that wrong
that,
decision or
exactly
not.
that.
The decisions have been
After the
made.
know
game,
what?
they have the thing and they'll tell you.
How many penalties were there last week given when they shouldn't have been?
Do you know what I get more?
Three, four?
I get more pissed off. It takes as long it takes.
Yeah.
I'd much rather them go. No, it's not happening. You
Drawing
think, oh,
lines
fuck
on the
it. Yeah.
strings, he might be off.
Yeah, that's what I get
Yeah.
more pissed off. If you can't work it out within in a minute and a half, if you can't work it out with
Yeah.
8 people, right, you shouldn't be giving it as a decision.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But they spend
That-
6 minutes doing
Yeah.
it and then go and have a look at the screen.
Yeah, that's where it.
Fucking
that,
we can't
that
make a
is-
decision.
Yeah,
We've got all the technology, but we can't make a
the
decision.
thing with slowing things down, it always looks worse.
Oh, it
slowing
looks
it down.
10 times worse.
You know, that
But then again, this is where then your argument comes in. But then if you slow it down, it looks worse. But it's the letter of the law, and that's the right thing. But that's not. it's not as simple as that.
And you need more technology to be able to explain. You're going to need 360 camera angles from every angle of the pitch.
Yeah.
To see it. Did you see that one with Luton and Borough the other day? The controversial penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So again, that's a VAR decision.
Yeah.
Now, letter of the law, there is contact. I think an eyelash brushes his knee.
Yeah.
But then,
And
but then we now say football's not a contact sport.
Yeah, but then the funny thing about that is,
That's where the clouds come in.
the funny thing about that is 90% of the people who were talking about saying, look, it was wrong, it shouldn't have been given. But then, funny enough, on TalkSport, Paul, what's his name? Hawksby Jacobs was like, yeah, I can see why you give it that. And I was like, hold on a second, you're the only
We
person.
can understand why, because the law states that it's fucking contact, but you're going to make contact.
Yeah,
It's a fucking
yeah.
contact sport.
But
That's what I'm saying about the law. So it's just fucking...
But then that
random.
contact thing, there's contact. That's contact.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're not going to fall over from
Yeah.
it. Do you know what I mean?
Depends how fast you're running.
Well,
Yeah, you ask Bruno, he's always falling over.
I'm pretty
Well,
fast.
exactly, that's where it all
I'm a
gets
United
scrambled
fan. He
even more.
pisses me off. That
Yeah.
geezer. He gets on my tits.
Yeah,
but no.
and the thing is, players make it hard for the referee.
Yeah.
Because especially as well, the whole head injury thing. Players now will hold their head when they go down injured, so the referee stops it.
Yeah.
Even though it's nothing nowhere near their head.
Yeah.
To me, that needs to be looked at as well by
The ref
But
needs
VAR-
to fucking backbone and start throwing some cards. at
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, that's VAR's taking all the decision making away from the referees. It's just made them scared of making any decisions.
Is
And
that
then, or I'll just wait for VAR and what they say. And then VAR go look at the screen. They're like, fuck. I have to make this decision myself.
one thing, on Friday, did you watch the Southampton Arsenal game?
No.
Right. There was Martinelli, centre backs coming up for it. Martinelli's just backing in, and he's looked, so you can see the centre backs coming in. And when the centre backs jumps, and Martinelli sort of like hunches over, that's to me is dangerous play. You see that all the time.
Yeah.
Why is that not picked up?
Yeah.
That to me should be. He got a free kick, but to me that is endangering an opponent's.
Yeah, because they can go over.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But VAR have now stopped looking at certain stuff, haven't they? To keep the speed of the game.
Another
up.
thing
It's
that
like-
VAR has brought in that's really pissed me off is this: when it's offside, the linesman doesn't wave his flag until that drives me mad.
Yeah.
The length of
I
time.
kind
well,
of
it'd be
understand- I kind of
3-4
get
minutes.
why they
Goal
do
can be
it,
scored, celebrated.
But it's
fucking
just
what? Hang on.
crazy. That
Second
United
half.
had one in the thing, wasn't it? It was like that's offside. Carries on. 3 or 4 more passes, crossed into the box. Blah,
It's
blah,
like the
goes
whole-
out, it's offside.
Do you know
It's
what, like, but the whole stadium's
Hell.
looking at this linesman.
Yeah,
He's gone
yeah.
like that. Next thing he goes, like, hey, but he's doing right. Like he's doing what he's meant to do.
But for the VAR, he's supposed to do that, but it's nuts. Is there any other changes in terms of that they're trying to think, or is that just the only one?
So they talking of obviously doing that during the game and then obviously after. But I don't know how they're going to do that. Are they going to interview the referee? So I don't think they'll do that.
They're never going to do that.
I've always thought though they should after the game ask the referee on his decisions because the managers get asked.
But the thing is,
apparently,
does he make any decisions?
Yeah, but
Does any fucking refs make a decision?
But apparently before, a couple of referees have made mistakes.
Sorry, I didn't make any.
Have admitted it, and they've wanted to come out after the game to say it, and they've been told, no, you can't do that. And it's like, why?
I think
If a manager, if a referee wants to, I'm not saying they've all got to, but if a referee makes a mistake and wants to come out and say, look, unfortunately, from my angle, I saw this, I made a mistake, put my hands up. Everyone's got, all right, fair
I
enough.
think most fans, if you come out and go, when I see it, I thought he tripped him, blah, blah, I gave the penalty, the thing,
Yeah, there should be the ref and whoever's top of the VAR for that day in a room and fucking talk to them.
I think I think most of us would
Be
go,
able to cut the scraps as well.
They're only
You
human,
told
aren't
me
they?
in here,
Everyone
that's
makes
fucking- that was
mistakes.
that.
absolutely.
I like to run around the fucking field and try and see what we see on the TV, and we're trying to work it out. And they do it.
No, absolutely. No. Referees are a really hard job. We have this in boxing as well all the time in terms of that. It's a really, really difficult job, any officiating, because obviously we put them apart on people like in podcasts, and every studio and every decision. It's a really, really difficult job. I don't think VAR has helped them in some respect, and the fact they keep changing.
Considering we wanted it for goal line technology, it's gone fucking bonkers.
Well, goal line technology is a prime example where technology has really worked. Yeah. I mean, that's never been in question. Apart from that one time that it didn't work in that Villa game, or whatever it was, which was fucking hilarious. Yeah. But in terms of that, like, that's technology, it's worked. Like, no one can, you'd never hear anyone come out going, goal line technology, you need to get rid of that.
But that's all we ever wanted, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was a bit of extra goal line technology, and now look what we've done.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's crazy. But We'll see what happens over there. I don't think it'll change anything, but let us know your comments and let us know what you think about the VAR and the possible changes. Would you like to hear what the referees are saying? Do you think that would help your decision? Let us know what you think. So coming up,
You won't hear it anyway. You'll just get all the abuse from
Yeah,
the fucking
yeah,
players giving you shit.
so coming up, fixtures. So just to wrap it up in terms of the print, it's a busy.
We've got the high and lows, haven't we? Still.
Oh, we have got the high. Actually, and we got the Champions League as well. We talked about, didn't we? I've skipped past that. Obviously, Champions League semi-finals. We've got City versus Madrid.
I think it's a really good split.
Yeah.
It's a really good game.
Really
that.
like.
Yeah.
And both the Italian teams against each other.
Yeah, AC Milan
So
versus Inter Milan in the Champions League. Who'd you pick? Who's going to go on?
I'm going to go Madrid.
I think Real Madrid are going to win it.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Fucking just ignore me.
AC?
Sorry.
Madrid?
Go on.
Inter.
Inter.
It's like, I just couldn't even think. I was like,
Well, you're going to say Madrid, Milan, were you? At least you get it right then, don't you?
I couldn't even think of the word Milan.
I think Real Madrid and City will be both close games, but I think Real Madrid will just edge it.
City are going to win the Champions League.
Fucking, they've got to.
They're going to win the Champions League.
I don't want them to.
They're going to win the Champions League. They're going to win the Premier League.
FA Cup.
And they're going to lose the FA Cup. I think they'll win the Champions League.
To be fair, I think they would rather lose the FA Cup and they'd rather win the league and
And
the
the Premier
Champions League.
Yeah.
I think they'll win them as well.
I think Pep's got his eyes set on one thing and one thing only.
Yeah.
I think he wants the Premier League as well. But I
Can you
think
imagine?
But that's only because they've not fucking stormed
Can
it.
you imagine if they didn't win the Premier League? If they actually don't win
Anything.
if they didn't win anything and they've got Haaland, you think we've got your striker now?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
sound feasible.
That
But I
would
think
be
they'll win the Champions
amazing.
Yeah.
because I don't think Madrid are a decent team. They're not the Madrid of old, of course. I just think City will have.
Well, fucking
Do you know
still,
what?
they're still
Do you know
dangerous.
what about Real Madrid is? I just think they're like Vinicius Junior is very underrated. Benzema is such an old player, but he's so
His quality.
they just. I don't know. I just think their attack. I mean, don't get me wrong. Man City's attack ain't too shabby.
No, yeah.
But I don't know. I just Real Madrid never
they like-
bet against Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Man City build up, do you know what I mean? They build up, like,
Yeah.
constant pressure. Madrid will just be fucking shit and smash 3
yeah,
goals past.
yeah.
I think City's defence is better than Madrid's defence.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think City will.
yeah.
And I think
Madrid
attacking wise, they're both
I think Madrid,
on par.
Madrid will score a goal quicker than City can.
Yeah, I just think it'll be there.
You know what we have got to talk about
The only one that AC Milan in, I'm not sure. What have we got to talk about?
is the game tomorrow night. Man City Arsenal.
Man City Arsenal. Yeah, I've got the. That's what I was. Let's do the highs and lows. I've got the fixtures here coming up. Kev says, no, sorry, I was going on to that, and then Dave reminded me about the Champions League. So highs and lows for the week. This is John Daly special. You three highs and lows. Is there? I haven't thought about this at all. Dave, high of the week.
My high of the week was seeing my big fat friend John Daly on Sky Sports.
Yeah, John Daly, friend of the podcast, ended up on Sky Sports.
Did he give us a shout out or not?
No, he didn't.
Oh.
He's a bit of a cunt for that.
Was he wearing the SPADS merch?
No, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
couldn't get a
um,
size
Do you know
big
why
enough.
that is? We haven't fucking got any.
yeah. No. It's you sure it was Sky Sports? What was he? The Arsenal fan? It wasn't Crime Watch or?
No. There was a few Arsenal fans. Yeah, a few idiots on there. But
What did he say? Going to beat Southampton?
he said we're going to beat Southampton, draw at City. If we don't win it this year, we'll win it next year.
Okay, so I guess they haven't called him back here. They haven't called him back in for that thing. After that prediction, Kev, high of the week. Football high of the week.
Reaching the FA Cup final.
Reached the FA Cup final.
You know?
Go ball.
It's got to be my low of the week, that.
What reached the FA Cup final?
Yeah, because it was just a bit drab, wasn't it?
It's the final.
Yeah, it's still one.
I hate fucking...
What's your high of the week then?
Yeah.
Losing
Have got one?
in the Seville.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
All right, let's go low of the week then, Kev. Yours is reaching the FA Cup final, which is
I'll split it the other way around. Losing is Phil getting through. It's always good to get through those.
Exactly same as what I
the
was.
same.
Do you know what? It wasn't losing to Seville and going out the Europa League. It was the way that we were atrocious.
Well,
We lost it in the
started
first
off in the first leg, letting them score.
Yeah,
That
that was
really,
the-
yeah, I think it was just that really pissed me off.
Yeah, it was. And Dave, low of the week.
My low. Oh, that's a hard one because I don't really have.
United going out Europa League.
No, that would be on the high. You know, John just tipped it. Just. My low was probably Southampton not holding on their lead.
Yeah. Obviously 3-1 up at one point.
Yeah,
weren't
that's
they?
it. Yeah.
In terms of that, Arsenal have been before they've been behind and they've been able to pull it back. Is the pressure getting a little bit too?
I don't know. But then didn't we just say though, these two games, West Ham, Southampton, they were going to be trickier than what they've got because they were fighting for their lives.
Yeah, I also think the next four are going to be really difficult for them.
Just find a bit of form as well, both of them.
Obviously, they've got City next. So we talked about it before. They've got Brighton, they've got Newcastle and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Can we just? I know we talked about Spurs, obviously their interim manager. Can we just say how good Newcastle were?
Yeah,
so I thought I was there, obviously at a cheerleading
3-0 down after 9.
I just thought
you was at a cheerleading competition. How'd you get on?
Did you win?
I don't want to talk about it. It's just about taking part. Apparently,
Tourist
No, Lacey got first, and I think the other one she got second and third or something like that. But she did really well.
Excellent.
But I actually thought Newcastle. I know Spurs were atrocious, but I actually thought the way Newcastle, and I'm actually quite concerned about.
Were Spurs just bad?
No, I think it was a combination.
Spurs were bad. They went to back four and they tore apart.
But I still think the way Joe Willock and Murphy, they just they look.
Wilson
so
comes on,
good.
scores.
Do you know what though? That's great, but they're not amazing players. It just shows what a decent manager can do.
This is my concern, right? As much as I always thought the Newcastle fan base, why no other rich person bought them for many years, because it's such a massive fan base.
Yeah.
But what he's done with those players, and the only problem is they're gonna get better players. I think.
Well, I think it was.
Now,
they're going to be the biggest United in the league. I just don't. I don't think they're going to get these superstar players. But if they recruit the way they are, and they're going to get in the Champions League now, it's a bit,
Yeah, I think they've done a great job. Interestingly as well, before they went for Howe, they wanted
Emre.
Apparently
he thanked him, didn't he? When they played Villa, he actually thanked him. The first game they played, he said, I thank you for saying no to turning it down.
So it was strange that he said no to Newcastle and then said yes to Villa.
Yeah.
But then you don't know if he asked, I want control of this, and they said no, and then Eddie Howe said, that's all right, I don't want control of it. Because you think Dan Ashworth is in charge, he's like the football director, isn't he, at Newcastle. Emery might have gone, no, I don't want to work with that. I don't know.
Maybe.
You never know what managers want. But
it's
look what Emery's doing at Villa.
Yeah, exactly. As a problem.
Since he's been in charge, if the league started, then he'd be third.
Yeah.
And they're winning tonight as well against Fulham.
He's a proper manager. And it leads on to that. So obviously the fixture's coming up. So tonight, there's 3 games tonight. Obviously by the time this goes out on Thursday, this has all been kind of thing.
What's the fucking game start?
It's loads of games the next thing.
It's a full fixture.
So we've got Wolves versus Palace on at the moment, Villa versus Fulham, Leeds versus Leicester. Update on any of them scores?
How Palace getting on?
We'll come back to you. They were losing 1-0 to Wolves.
Wolves have found a bit of form.
Yeah, they're not a bad side.
Wolves are winning still. Villa are beating Fulham, and Leeds are beating Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester. Okay, Wednesday, so tomorrow night we've got Forest versus Brighton, West Ham versus Liverpool. Dave, quick view on that?
West Ham a bogey team for us. They're playing.
Yeah.
West Ham are a bit. I think we'll beat them because I think they've got one eye on the Farmers Conference, whatever it is.
Fucking hell, Tyrone Mings scored for Villa.
Oh, I think he's in my dream team.
Team. So West Ham versus Liverpool, Chelsea versus Brentford. That's a decent game as well tomorrow night. Chelsea versus Brentford. That'd be interesting to see. Frank doing a terrible job there. And then obviously the big one, Man City versus Arsenal. Obviously, are we saying if City win that, the league's gone? I think Arsenal will be 1 point ahead, 2 games behind. I thought Arsenal were going to hold on to it.
Yeah,
nope.
Yeah,
I'm getting less confident about it now. But
I think City will have momentum, and if they beat them, I think they'll have momentum, won't they? And they've got the experience of doing it.
Well, if they beat them, I think they'll be 1 point behind with 2 games in hand.
Yeah. So you got to say City only need to win one of them 2 games in hand and keep going.
If they beat them, they're only 1 point behind now, aren't they?
No, they're 4.
Have they still got a game?
4 points.
But if they beat them, they'll be 1 point behind.
2 games in hand.
2 games in hand.
Yeah, so they've still got a game in hand now. So that's where the point comes from.
They've got 2 games in hand now, but obviously they'll play each other, so that will cancel out there'll still be 2
games in hand.
They'll be both playing the game.
I thought it was a big game in hand.
So, so it'll be 2 games. They'll be 1 point behind, 2 games in hand, so that's a big one. I'm thinking City win? Draw? I think it could be a 0-0 ball draw, 2 safe.
I'm going to say Arsenal to win.
Arsenal have got to win, really.
Yeah.
City favours.
I've got a feeling City are going to smash.
Do we think a draw favours City or Arsenal?
Arsenal. I think Arsenal will be lucky not to.
Yeah, because I think Arsenal
because Arsenal are above, I think it would favour Arsenal.
I think City are just going to plough through everybody now.
I think Arsenal would take. I think Arsenal would take mentally would take more out of a draw than what Man City would.
Yeah,
definitely. But I think personally, draw. It still favours City because it's only still 4 points with two games in hand.
But so Thursday we've got Everton versus Newcastle, Southampton versus Bournemouth, Spurs versus Manchester United. That's more of an interesting game now. They brought in Ryan Mason with. There's a new manager. New manager bounce.
New interim.
Because it's a new interim. It's now the interim manager to come in.
Sub.
Yeah. So it's and then Saturday got Palace West Ham. So quick turnaround for Palace.
That'll be a good game.
Brentford versus Forest, Brighton versus Wolves. Sunday Bournemouth versus Leeds, Fulham versus Man City, Man United versus Villa, Newcastle versus Southampton, Liverpool versus Spurs on Sunday.
That'll be another good one.
Yeah, Manchester United Villa. That's a tough game as well for Manchester United. As we just said, Emery doing a good thing. Liverpool versus Spurs.
Yeah, I like playing Spurs.
Yeah,
we always seem to do quite well against Spurs. So,
are you less wanting to face them now they've changed their interim manager?
No, I don't care.
And then on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, Leicester versus Everton in predominantly a 6-pointer, as you mentioned earlier, Kev. That wraps it up. We've talked quite a lot today. Apologies if you got bored of it. Thank you for sticking with us if you're still here. As always,
we'll wrap through this pretty quick.
Yeah, I know. Don't forget, like, comment, share, tell your friends, tell your nan, everything else like that. Thank you very much for joining us once again, and we'll catch you again next week.
Thank you.
Good. Goodbye.